Hi guys, it's Andy, the expedition hiker. I bet you forgot about me and you thought I was never going to return. Well, here I am. And we're up in North Wales. I'm actually doing a bit of a walk that I did a few weeks ago, although you won't see that video for some time. It'll become apparent why. But in the meantime, we were out on a bit of a wild camp tonight and also a little bit of an extra walk. In particular, a certain place I want to go to in North Wales. The day I came, it was very hazy and actually my audio, didn't realise the audio dropped. So I've come back to film this a little bit again in better weather. It's a lovely blue sky, although it is quite hot. It still is spring. But we're going to carry on walking up this hill and we'll get up to where we're trying to wild camp tonight, and then tomorrow morning is the hill that I want to see, and if it's a clear sky then we're out for a treat, you and I. Also, while we're on this walk, I'm going to speak to you about where I've been, what I've been doing and what's going to happen from now. So bear with and let's walk up this hill. Right, onwards on the Dyke Way as we head towards Jubilee Tower, 1.5 miles away on this fine spring evening. Okay, so we're heading up towards where I thought I was going to wild camp, but the problem being is, because it is a quite sunny day, quite warm, the sky is a little bit hazy now, it's quite blue. I'm guessing a lot of people are walking up towards Jubilee Tower to see the sunset, which the problem being is I can't really just camp on the middle of the path when there's people going to be walking up and down to the sunset and after it. So I think I'm going to walk past Jubilee Tower, do that bit tonight, and then tomorrow we'll carry on doing our trail. It's a bit of a steep trail I've got now. I've got about another 150 metres to climb until it flattens out. Right, let's keep going. Well, I might be using this defibrillator on myself at this rate. Now, although this is the highest hill in the Clwydian range, 556, it's actually high buff. That was the highest point of the whole Dyke Way. That was about 726. This is a lot smaller. I think this is steeper. Getting closer. There's a Jubilee Tower on the top there, which is the tallest building in northeast Wales. Now on the northwest, we've got on the top of Snowdon, we've got a cafe and everything there, railway, probably got a theme park being built soon. You can climb to the summit of Snowdon without even getting your feet dirty. You just sit on a train and you said, I've completed the summit. Have you though? Have you? Getting closer. Getting a lot closer. Nearly there. Probably about another 60 steps to go. And I'm cream crackered. I've got a bit of light on the tower now. I'm going to try and walk all the way around without breaking my neck.
Jubilee Tower, created in 1809 as a celebration to the Golden Jubilee of King George III. For 49 years of the throne, not 50, as most people would have a Golden Jubilee. Foundation stone was laid in 1810, and although at the time no one had come to an agreement of what the monument should actually look like, eventually the final design was created by the architect Thomas Harrison. It was an elaborate design at that, with a rectangular base with 4 bastions, with a resemblance to an Egyptian-style structure with an obelisk at its centre. So that's what Jubilee Tower looked like originally, before it started collapsing.
So just in the distance, on the hazy horizon, is Cadaridris. Moving across, we've got the Cambrian Mountains, and then Snowdonia, with Mount Snowdon, and then Chiffin just as you go down from the Three Peaks to Snowdon. You go up, go back down a bit, and look at that little serrated bit, and that's Triffin. And then moving around that way, you see the coast, Irish Sea. So my idea is either stay here and watch the sunset, or walk on a bit, find that pitch, and then do the sunset from there, which I think is the best option. It's getting a bit cooler up here as well, so I think you're better off to hike, find a spot, bed down. Highest point in the Clwydians and the highest point in the northeast of Wales. It's 556, but it's getting a bit breezy, as I mentioned. I've got about an hour before sunset, but I think we're going to head down the hill a bit towards Moel, and then find a pitch there, which is less miles for to do tomorrow, because we can actually see the coast from here. So, and if I spin it around, you can see it as well. So directly behind me is the coast. So, right, let's get walking. Let's finish the day off. Pitch that we can sleep at tonight. Well, it's definitely a clearer view up here than it was the last time I came. It's becoming a little bit hazy now, with Jubilee Tower behind me, and something I've just noticed in front of me that I best go and show my respect. Pat him. You know what it is. Yes, the familiar trick point. A tappity taps, this is a Ordnance Survey. This monument forms part of the Ordnance Survey National GPS network. If found damage, please ring. Blah blah blah. We best go and find something to sleep now, as the clouds have wrecked the sunset. So I'm going to head towards Moel now, see if I can find a pitch along the way. So just looking across the landscape, right in the background, as I say, that's about 40 miles away from here. Moving across, you can see Snowdon in the middle. Moving across, near the sea, got Llandudno. Although it's not a great sunset, the sun setting looks nice enough, because this is just the opposite path. So I think I might be able to find a decent pitch along here somewhere. Probably about 20 minutes before it's dark. It is getting dark already, but at least I can see. So yeah, like usual, put my tent up in the dark or near enough to it. But then again, wild camping's about that. It's not the point of putting it up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's about putting it up at dusk and taking it down at dawn. So I think it's on the actual footpath, but it's not the main footpath. The office dyke is just over there somewhere. The other side of those posts there. So we're about a few hundred metres away from it. But I think this is home for tonight. So let's pitch the tent, and I'll chat back to you in a bit. Right, so we're in the tent again, obviously, as you can see here. Well, what have I been up to? Where have I been? I've been away from the channel for a little while now. Now, you know, earlier in the year, I had problems with my health. I've got 2 hernias now, and one is, well, giving me a little bit of pain. The other thing is, I've having problems with my knee again, to the point that I'm waiting for a steroid injection. Now, I was told I could have this steroid injection in March. It's now June, and still haven't had it. So, according to the GP, he says, you'll have it very soon. 3 months later. But I have been doing a few walks and I have filmed them, so it's just been a point of time of actually trying to edit them in between work and put it on the channel. Well, that's the other thing. I want to bring out quality videos rather than quantity. In the past it was like, I've got to get a video out every Sunday,
Well, now I want to do good quality videos. I am still learning about video editing. I'm getting better at it. I would rather put out a good quality video once every 2 weeks rather than half decent video once a week. So yes, I'm looking down the video editing stages. I've got plenty of things to do. I've got a couple of long distance walks this year that's coming out. Hopefully we're going abroad and do some walks in maybe Spain or France later in the year. Scotland I'm going to later in the year. So there's plenty of things going out. I'm going to film them all. So with all, yes, I am still up here. We are closing in on 2,000 subscribers, which, well, 220 away. But if I hit that, I think I'm going to do another giveaway, but a little bit better than I did last time. And also, I think I might look for another haunted house. So bear with me, keep subscribed, and you'll see those videos coming out soon. All in all, yes, I'm back, but I want to put out quality videos rather than quantity. And I think you deserve that as well. You deserve to see good quality videos rather than something I've knocked together in 20 minutes. Okay, with that, I'm going to go and get some food.
Right, tonight we're having Wayfarer pasta bolognese. I've got the pocket rocket just heating it up. Now these aren't really my favourite because they've already got the water in them. It means you've got extra weight to carry. But I didn't have much alternatives, especially with my allergy to chilies and that. And most of the other dishes that were in the shop were all spicy. So we'll go with pasta bolognese with Wayfarer. I think these are about £5 each. And you can get them with discounts as well if you've got something like British Mountain Council. So if you're a BMC member or DAV, ex-armed forces, those type of things, you'll probably get about 15-20% discount on it as well. Right, I think it's about ready. And with the water, I'll make a brew with. So I'll see you in a mo. Well, on the yonder, we can see Liverpool, which is about 20 miles away. And I think just to the right hand side, and the other part of the estuary, that's Chester, a little bit closer. Liverpool over there is about 20 miles away. Anyway, I'm going to retire to the tent now. I'll have my dinner, my pasta bolognese. So once I've had that and had my brew, well, when I'm having my brew, I'll get back to you. We'll have a chat. Yeah, the difficulty I found was so do you hear that? No, nor do I. It's so eerie here. Now there was a cuckoo earlier, but it's died off. He's gone to bed. And so is everything else. There's no snipes or grouse or anything.
Morning folks. Well, we're up early. As I'm on a bit of a footpath, it's 5 to 6 in the morning. I want to get up, get the tent down. So with that, that's what we're going to do. So all I want to do now, I'm going to wipe down my tent and then we'll get on the off. Once we get on the off, I'll find a nice spot, we'll have a bit of breakfast, we'll have a bit of a chat. Alright, so let's wipe my tent down first. So use one of these like jig cloths, gets all the excess water off, especially when we've got condensation. It did rain last night, but condensation in a single skin tent, well, it's guaranteed. Unless you don't breathe. If you don't breathe any moisture out, which most people do, in fact I don't know anybody that don't, condensation in the tent. There you go, you can see all the water drained away from that. Put it in a poultry bag. Keep it away from the rest of the gear, obviously it's damp. Right, let's get this tent down. actually do a method, and you do it exactly the same way each time, then you're not gonna lose any tent pegs, and it makes it easier putting your tent down. You just do it the same way each time. Right, ready for the off. So one last thing, the usual, check the area, check you haven't left any pegs, check you haven't left any litter, and leave no trace. This is it, I think. Once I get to this brow, I've gone over a few false summits, but I think this is the one. Once I get over this one, we should be able to see Moel Arthur and its Iron Age stroke Bronze Age hill fort. And it's meant to be one of a kind. Let's see. Okay, so this hill here in front is Moel Arthur. Now I thought it was something to do with King Arthur, but it's got nothing to do with him. But what it is, you can see towards the top of it, there's well, it looks like a wall. It's actually a big ditch. It's actually the deepest ditch in any hill fort in Wales. And around the ramparts on the west side, as we can see over there, that is the border of Flintshire and Denbighshire. So that wall that's heading up and then around the edge is the border between the two counties. But there is a way you can get up on the top, and on the top there is a burial mound that's believed to be dated back to the Bronze Age.
In 1888, a golden nugget was found on the side of the hill in an ancient quarry. This started the Silkane gold rush, although it was short-lived as nothing else was ever found.
Just taking his time, working out his route, having a good old day. It's a nice old specimen of a caterpillar. So we've just re-walked this section of the Jubilee Tower down to Moel Arthur, and the rest of it I did on the Arthur's Dyke trail, so that video will be coming out later. In the meantime, we're back on the Wild Camp trail. So today I'm aiming to go to St Asaph, which got its own history. So we'll head to that, and then we're aiming for a castle. I think it's called Rhuddlan, and that's our end point for today. Right, so with that, let's get going. Bit of a fern pattern going off there, looks different. Spring is definitely here. Nice meandering river. Private, no access. Across the bridge. Although saying that, the bridge, there's not much there. More like a railway track than a bridge. Well, where am I now? Well, I've actually looked at the map. The route I was going to head to, St Asaph. I'm still heading there, but then I saw there's a place called Denbigh. And in Denbigh is a castle. And I'm a bit of a sucker for a castle. And there's another castle later on after St Asaph. So let's walk to Denbigh, and then we'll walk over to St Asaph and then Rhuddlan. Doing good on time, so it's only about 11:30. We're near at Denbigh. If I walk to Denbigh, then to St Asaph, and then to Rhuddlan, I've got about 9 miles left to do today. Well, then I actually googled what it looks like, so I'm hoping the castle is worthwhile. These hedgerows are teeming with wildlife. Birds and butterflies, dragonflies, and I'm sure other wildlife too. Still haven't seen a castle, We're less than a mile from it. Mind you, these hedgerows are a little bit high, so I can't see over them. High walls here, so probably a grand house. So I think the building in the centre of the picture is a school. Quite a grand school at that. And then looking up, we can see some grand buildings at the top there. A grand house on top of the cliff. Lovely views over this way. And I think it looks like maybe some castle ruins just in front of it. Maybe we'll see a castle or some sort of remains closer. And then we're going to head into Denbigh and out to St Asaph. So I've just been informed that the building in front is a school. It was a private school, one of four, one of them being in Shrewsbury, one being in Cardiff. I'm not sure where the other one is. It's no longer a private school, now it's a comprehensive school. I think we're heading up towards that school and we'll see closer when we get there. Howe School in Denbigh was a private girls only school. It was established in 1859 with funding from Thomas Howe. Thomas was a Welshman and a merchant draper of the City of London who made his fortune trading with Spain and Portugal from 1519 to 1527. When he died in 1537, he bestowed in his will 12,000 golden ducats, around 2.2 million today. The school closed in 2013 due to a discrepancy with financial payments. The actual old headmaster and his partner were sacked from their position within the school, and then the headmaster went to a tribunal and was given a wrongful dismissal, which in fact was giving him so much compensation that that's the reason why the school had to close down. Private girls' school that must have had quite a considerable amount of money coming into it, and a school that's over 150 years old must have been a hell of a compensation they had to pay. I think we found a castle, because that looks like a turret. So these are the castle walls. So partly remaining turret. So here we are, the castle of Denbigh. In front of us we've got Hillary's Tower. A statue of Edward II stands guard over the entrance. Friend or foe, the great gatehouse provided a spectacular entrance for guests, accommodation, and an imposing barrier to attackers. This gatehouse was also a deadly killing zone. Attackers who breached the portcullis and doors were faced with a barrage of missiles from murder holes above and arrows and crossbow bolts shot from the sides. Mainly remains now, at least there's something to see. Really the gatehouse. It was the main entrance into the castle as we look down to St Hilary's. So we're heading down now towards the gatehouse to the castle. Now that's a lot of chimneys, 22 chimneys for 4 cottages. How many rooms has it got? Funny enough, the manhole covers are Stanton and Staveley, and that's not far from me, or was. In fact, the school I work at, it's about 2 miles away, Stanton Ironworks.
St Asaph is the second smallest city in Britain, with a population of just 3,300, standing on the River Elwy, in the county of Flintshire. Just for note, the smallest city in Britain is St David's on the Pembrokeshire coast, the ancient capital of Wales, with a population of just 1,800. Although in history Asaph was renowned as a city for its historical monastery and then cathedral, the UK government clarified that St Asaph was previously the only one of the 22 ancient cathedral dioceses in England and Wales pre-Reformation not to have been awarded city status. It was only granted city status again on the 1st of June 2012 by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. The city hosts the North Wales International Music Festival in September of every year, which gets its name locally as the City of Music. The original copy of the Welsh Bible is kept on public display in St Asaph's Cathedral. It was used in the vestry of King Charles when he became the Prince of Wales in 1969.
I, Charles, Prince of Wales, do become your liege man of life and limb.
In 1981, after excavations in the city, a tooth and jawbone were found that dates back 225,000 years ago of early Neanderthals.
Pack up your troubles in your old kit bag and smile, smile, smile. Well, I was on the lookout for a kingfisher, and here I found one, looking over the river. Okay, so now I'm going to Rhuddlan. I don't know how you pronounce it. There's a castle here anyway. That's my final destination, this adventure anyway. On our right we have the River Elwy, which St Asaph was founded on. We were walking alongside it for a while now. Right, we've got less than a mile to go. Our first look at the castle. Castle Rhuddlan. Rutted, I don't know. Every person I spoke to, what's it called, and they told me something different. But there's the castle anyway. We'll go and have a look. What the hell's that? It's a wooden man doing his shoelace up, looking over the lake. A hell of a duck over there. And after our duck, that looks quite convincing. It does look like a heron. Right, we're nearly there. It's a hop, skip and a jump. The image of the castle, the bridge and the church, all clustered beside the banks of the River Clwyd, is so iconic that it was drawn by Turner. Try not to disturb the Rhuddlan nights. These solid oak figures by local sculptor Mike Owens guard the entrance of the town, although they seem to be taking a well-earned break just at this moment. This is St Mary's Church. As we enter the churchyard through the Victorian Lich Gate, the fine parish church was built in about 1300 to serve the new Edwardian town, and the church received a Victorian makeover from Sir George Gilbert Scott. Inside, 17th century Welsh text painted on the walls.
Although folklore states that this is the site where Edward I held his parliament, this is unproven. The architectural fragments are generally medieval, probably coming from the ruins of the castle.
Well, here we are at the castle, Rhuddlan. From the actual sort of like riverside, it looks a bit more intact than this side.
Here it is, the glory of the town, one of the great castles of Wales. Begun in 1277, Rhuddlan Castle was part of an iron ring of fortresses constructed by Edward I in his ruthless campaign to intimidate and subdue the Welsh. When King Henry III died in 1272, he left his son Edward I the crown in England, and Llewellyn ap Gruffydd as Prince of Wales. Llewellyn had a treaty with Henry which guaranteed his position as prince, but as Edward and Llewellyn were old rivals, a standoff led to 2 wars. Neither ended well for Llewellyn. Edward had imported a super weapon, the greatest military architect in Europe, Master James of St. George. This castle was his first project for the king. Offered 3 concentric lines of defence, diamond-shaped inner ward, outer ward and deep moat. But there was just one problem. The meandering river Clwyd wasn't quite in the right place to supply the castle by sea. So Edward, or more accurately, a team of 70 constructed labourers from the Lincolnshire Fens, spent 3 years diverting the river by hand.
The king commanded that the landscape be changed to make it possible. Over 2 miles of the river Clwyd needed to be straightened and deepened. Only then could sea-going ships reach this dock, which forms part of the castle's moat. Sailing up the new seaway, ships brought cargoes of food, weapons, building materials and luxuries for the garrison and the royal court. Beached on this steeply sloped ramp, ships were unloaded and then refloated on high tide.
Right guys, I think we're going to finish this walk here. So behind me we've got Rhuddlan Castle, and this is a fitting end to finish this walk. Now we started in Rhuddlan, headed up to Jubilee Tower, where my second chance to have a look at it, and we got those views. We didn't get the chance to see the Isle of Man, but it was a better view than my first attempt. So with that, more walks are coming this way, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Please click the like and please add a comment. I am now monetizing out, so it does great for my channel if you click that like. So please click the like. So until next time, I shall see you soon. So take care, have a good one, and bye hikers.